Abusia mame na wase na me ma akwa ba famra Ashanti Media so like video share mu bi fufuro na ono so enya bi entumi enhwe na Frimpong Ziega ene na pamfo a chance a discussing sem dodo na ye fa fuel prices ene under security threat esign to kwa ekoso between Israel and Iran no omantimi edoso mu pa ene impact ebinya e wo man Ghana so afen so no Auditor General's reporter ababetodwa na enei akodedi say most of the CEOs any aban dwuma efo bi wo ho a omonye politicians so omukura no na corruption no ebon omo ho pa akofa nsem bebre e di aba no omatimi a discuss ya honorable Nana Ejay Baffour lawyer ono MP wo Manchia South e di na no atuma biebie sansem no so bie sanso na Prophet JY Edu enso so e di na no atuma omatimi ebiebie nsem so pa enya asem ketua mepese ye beji bre na yakotie nkomatwetwe ekoso yenso ya dwenkyere efa nsem no ho no yatumi e de ato comment section
sisia baby ya ba beduni de bia ye ready Auditor General's report every year bia ye ready a report na ba ye hunu kofo na yese o we do man sheda ebia bibi ti de wa anye ni ye ebia administrative lapses ebi o ho incompetence in a man ba bi so ye deliberate ye be hware na about 90% of sikana anunu atu agukwa no ye deliberate and kophobia creatia omalutu this country afibia ba edientina ye reading report yi abrejina na so afibia no ye record sadi we say is it because of say the Auditor General no hu enough I wanna say institutions no
thank you for your question, but let me just explain that I'm not good at the tree.
Okay,
so if I don't understand your question well, I cannot answer. But I'll just try to answer it based on what I've understood.
Okay, sir.
These audit reports keep coming because we don't act on the findings and recommendations. It's just like a waste of time. But the Auditor General spends time doing this audit, brings before Parliament's Public Accounts Committee of Parliament, look at it and make recommendations, and no action is taken on the recommendations. And that's why this will continue to happen. It should have been possible to now drag the people to court to make sure that where you are going to recover money, the money are recovered. If people are going to be prosecuted, they are prosecuted. But unfortunately, we are not able to do that. Some time ago, we set up what they call the ARIS, Audit Review Implementation Committee, in each ministry. But these committees do not seem to be working at all. Otherwise, these things should have been happening. Even if the audit work was very effective, some of these money would have been recovered at the institutional level. They wouldn't even go into the report. Because when the auditor has done the audit and uncovers some of this, there is a management meeting. You sit with the management of that institution and you draw their activities. And if there are monies to be paid back, the monies will be paid back. And then it will be taken out of the audit report. But these monies that have got into Parliament means that they have not been able to even recover the money at that level. And that is because we don't do much to the people that are involved.
I see. Now we have CID there, we have Yoko, we have the most recent one, the Office of the Special Prosecutor. They are all there to put check on all this stuff that we are talking about. Now tell us, can we say that these institutions are also not doing their job well?
No, I think you are mixing the two. This one is an audit, the work of the audit service. The government audit. They don't send their reports to a Yoko or CID unless Parliament decides to refer the reports to them for further investigation. So, if Parliament had power to now proceed to court, or the Auditor General had power to proceed to court to prosecute those that they have found that have indicted, that would have been a different matter. But Parliament can also decide that, okay, we need to investigate further into some of these things. And then maybe Parliament can set up a separate committee to look at them or refer them to an appropriate institution. But until that is done, it is at the parliamentary level, which is thrown back to the various institutions. If a minister is accused or has been found to have diverted money, and you refer the thing back to the minister to act, how can the minister act on himself or herself?
I see.
Or the chief director. See, so we need to have an independent body. Maybe like I think the new Chief Justice talks about setting up a fast track court that will deal with some of these things. And I think that will be a way forward. So that it's not left to the executive to enforce the recommendations on themselves.
I see. So you are telling us that the Auditor General cannot refer any matter to UOCO or other security agencies apart from Parliament?
Yeah, it sends its reports to Parliament.
Okay,
and
so
Parliament will refer to the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament. That will look at it and sometimes will even call the various institutions to come and answer some of the queries. And then a recommendation will be made to the entire Parliament House, which will now debate them and decide what action should be taken. But the action should be taken would usually refer back to the various institutions where the improprieties have taken place to act. And that's where you find the inaction.
Oh, okay. So let's go back again. So it means that the Public Accounts Committee, after everything, has to reverse or refer the matter back to the institution that the malpractice has been taking place for them to act on it, right? That's what you're telling us.
No, the Public Accounts Committee only reports back to the entire Parliament House. It is only when Parliament House has endorsed the recommendations that it then refers back to the various institutions to act on them.
Oh, okay. So in this case, who do we blame? Do we have to blame Parliament for not able to, apprehend more people? Because every year we record a financial corrupt, saga in Auditor General's report. So who do we blame?
We blame the executive or the appropriate institutions. As I've said, Parliament refers it back, sends the recommendations back to the institution where those improprieties have taken place. So that institution is supposed to now act on those recommendations. Where it requires recovery of money, where it requires prosecution. If it's prosecution, then they will refer it to the Attorney General who will now go to court and prosecute. Parliament does work when it has endorsed, Parliament has finished its work when it has endorsed the recommendations of the Public Accounts Committee and forwarded it to the appropriate institutions. I see.
Now, people have been suggesting that because of all this bureaucratic movement, the Auditor General should be given a prosecutorial power so that he can prosecute people themselves. Do you share that idea?
Yeah, it will be a good move, and I think it happens in some countries. So instead of the Auditor General referring the matter to the Public Accounts Committee and all that long process, the Auditor General should have it already has a legal department. So it should be given the powers to prosecute. So that it will make full use of the legal department.
I see. So what are some of the countries that are giving that power to their Auditor General?
Unfortunately, I don't have any country in mind at present. I haven't picked any country, but I know there are a few countries that do that. The Auditor General has the power to proceed to court.
I see. And there's another thing. The other time we spoke with Mr. Domilevo, a former Auditor General, it also revealed to us that some of their regional offshoot, some of the auditors also conspired with the institutions to, do one or two things to cover them and all that. How do we check the Auditor General too?
Well, that's a very difficult thing. It's like, how do you check? How do you check the watchman?
Yeah, who watches the watchman? Yeah,
who watches the watchman? It's a very difficult thing, but then that's where the work of civil society comes in, or even ordinary citizens. If you are working in an office and you see that your finance officer is doing things that you're supposed to do, and the Auditor General or the audit officer comes and doesn't discover it, then you should be able to report it to the appropriate body. And that's why we have the Whistleblower Act. You should be able, a worker in the office should be able to blow the whistle on such an auditor or such a staff to the appropriate institution to pursue it.
All right. I read it from somewhere that a World Economic Forum is saying that the whole world loses $3 trillion through corruption, and Africa is $100 billion through corruption, and Ghana, according to Shraj, saying that we lose $3 billion through corruption and every year. Do you think that upon all these institutions being established by government, the UCO, the NIBs, and the Office of the Special Prosecutor, the CID, and all that, they are all there. Why do you think that we can't even keep this situation? Because as of 5 years ago, we were in $900 million. Now we have hit, $3 billion. How come that we keep going forward but not, able to stem this situation and be reducing it?
Because of inaction. We don't take action, serious action, against those that are found to be involved in this kind of thing. If the audit report reveals that somebody has chopped money, it should be possible to recover those money, and then proceed to still sanction the person. It's not just taking back the money, but also punishing the person for doing the wrong thing. When you do that, you scare people from engaging in similar acts in the future. But if you don't follow the person, or if you follow the person and take back the money and you don't do anything to the person, then you are not punishing the person. Because if the person has taken the money and going to buy a house or something, 5 years later you find it up and take the money back. The fellow has already acquired his house and probably paid back recover the money through a bank loan or something. So it is because we don't act on these things, so they keep happening. But if we are acting on them, people will be scared from doing that.
What are some of the harsh punishment will you suggest to the state for us to combat this? I remember in the previous years, we used to have over the bar, giving people firing squad and all that. I'm not saying that we should go back to the firing squad days, but if we are to stay in it, what are some of the measures or punishment do you suggest to the state that we should do?
You see, we're in a democracy, not in the military regime where you're talking about firing squad. Even now, there are people advocating against death sentences. So definitely you will be talking about firing squad. But recovery of money that have been wrongly taken and assets that have been acquired through illegal means. Those two things can scare people. But as I said, go beyond that and prosecute the people that have been found to have done that.
I see.
So prosecution can mean imprisonment or whatever. But also demotions at workplace, sacking at workplace, all those things are punishment that you can use.
I see. I see. And the states, the parliaments. We are discussing the parliament issue before coming on TV. A parliament, sometimes we hear, like, for example, you were attributing everything to the executives. We talked about executive all the time about corruption, and sometimes we go to the judiciary, just like an Afrobarometer report says that 78% of Ghanaians don't trust in our judiciary. But when it comes to parliament, we don't know, and we don't have anything to put them on check. So how do we check parliamentarians? Because recently, remember this issue that came out at the NPP time, there were these 88 members of parliament that went to parliament that they didn't like their finance minister. And it was rumored that somebody went there to pay them money. And that matter was referred to Office of the Special Prosecutor. We haven't heard anything about it. We also heard Anas Arimia announced that he has done something about, expose about parliament, but it was never released. Parliament, how do you put them on check?
Well, it's a very difficult thing to do. But again, I'll refer you back to the Whistleblower Act. if you're a staff of parliament, or if you're an honored citizen that has found out that your member of parliament is engaged in corrupt deeds, you blow the whistle on the person to the appropriate body. You can blow the whistle to strike to a Yoko, office of president, hospital, or whatever. Then they will conduct an investigation. And whatever action is required of them, then they will take the action.
Okay. All right. Mr. Azim, please be with me. Don't go yet. Bishop J.Y. Edu has joined us from Ashanti region. So we are waiting for Nana Baffour, is a member of parliament at the Menshia South constituency. Joining Sansona and Mr. Clement Akulo is a parliamentary journalist and development communication. Mr. Vitas Azim and Morten Kano or anti-corruption crusader. I want to come to West Africa. Is one of the greatest people. Crusaders that are people admire so far. Say hold on for me. Let me engage Bishop J.Y. Edu. Say Bishop, yesterday we started this thing. We are staying it today. So yesterday we bizarre will be a question B. It's a weird question or civilized question, but I have to put that question to you. Debia ye kase corruption ye queen to say that Mr. Vitas Azim Akai or say you dealing with them papa. As a punishment, the bomb and your papa, you try everything to make sure say you back corruption, but you as of about 5 years ago, the Sikani through corruption in this country was about $900,000, but today a balloon to $3 billion according to Strike report. Now, and Kofor suggested say, Usha Obiti say President Rawlings or your Christoni and I tell or swear in as a president 93, 97 or the Quran, or the Bible on the swear. Obiti say Alaji Sani o Kumase former organizer. Or also see a crimony or swear or the Quran swear. But when Alaji Sani there was a time accused President Rawlings to say one ban farmer NDC in 2016. Rawlings a power me and Antoine. Meanwhile, one is a Christian, one is a Muslim. They believe in the Bible and the Quran. And also, Rawlings accused President Kufuor say wafa Ghana sikani adie. It is a President Kufuor so on fa Ghana sikami and Antoine Sunyama. Meanwhile, they were all ex-president and no more president. The per time more president no more the Bible and the swear in. Kufuor suggested say for the look of things, you know. I don't know, say a better possible anchor. Ye mouse swear cry and some family date is nibi and swear. Why a spiritualist and a social commentator, you've been a politician all your life and do you think it's a laudable idea? We have to consider that.
You, I mean, and I was making sure Bible no Quran ya kasi jina hose eno eni jina soa ejeje the GTL jina ho man ankora na GTL no ewa hono ye re enu unti fa ejo enim se wa je ya na mo yidi njusu ba fa Quran ma bia di se akantam so ne kwa obi ba fa ba fo di se akantam so ne kwa eno die ka yo ya yeji na dia ma mi hunu no ma bia fa corruption wo ye ma mu kan ya ne se de bi tu asia na se be be ma ase be ntu mo mre po to ka de tu Pakasena na constitution na yetro. Constitution na no ye should be to self that dinner. President ni chusu. Aya wrong. Chusu pay. Definitely. About it. E passano preparo tutto the one was a see Yaman
yeah.
Yaman yourself, no. Yeah, you know, it's a Morofuya for them. They said, oh, but yeah, Asamba, not eating or Paramanta, ọbẹka ma pa even do accept enye asem papa efe na se pa ti wo no wo pa ti bia nti amma the democracy no enye what the question is Baffour I'm saying president in the country of Montino who don't so the party this back or the other in the final so you know a Pocasiano Babano you do Baffour yeah what it is Mamma can you win yeah if you said o pessoal parte na one pen no mas e agora se não vai fazer sincero é bem mais aprender bia ninguém na can bia e o que é um presidente é um price one acabou se de uma mulher é no o americano ninguém sabe presidente mínimo de na principal president no caso papa IGP system na produção se a gente mano fraco a nossa é bem para não me sabe do funding é bem maria e bia para mano o funding para eu conduzo parlamentar é não virar aqui a senhora vai chamar 2016 and some problem 2024. So what was I have to stop.
Bishop, you can't say Article 187 of the 1992 Constitution, say we cannot be able to me your friend said the Auditor General, not even the President. So the 187 man special immune beer, a bambi or baby and so on in the air juma. So a bear then obia a yin, you know, your friend say obedient to me, you know, a constitution a born hobino. That person ultimately spending agenda or whatever towards a certain a government, and I say a certain president.
Okay, have the plan give them. Why the you? That's you. They say you always say, my name. Now why is man away a man? I don't want to say American. Why a fast she said, or soon she said, and why? Domrugo, and why is man away a man? Party people. And Grandma, I'm a photo, not just away anything. So, it's actually, and you actually shed a year. That we have a MPP, NDC media, also by Flower, through the politics, yeah, whatever. Say, can't have put in the secretary. Do the passer, and then for father, but the Baffour, you do be at. You that way to sit politics and normally means the same job on the side. Yet, I'm not going to decide. We put the same.
I see. All right, just ma'am is here. Don't go yet. Mesa Bawos is here, Bishop. Let me introduce Mr. Clement Akulo is a parliamentary journalist and development communication. Say, thank you very much. Yane Ora Vitas Azim Edin Komosisiano. What you go through the process, the legal process. Ma say obi if you find a culpable, see a deal no FHS. As I say, you refer the matter to the Auditor General report in bar referred to a Public Accounts Committee, then the Public Accounts Committee referred back to Parliament, then the Parliament referred the matter back to the institution. Now, I feel almost dealing with the person, but blah 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 blah. Now why a parliamentary journalist? Catch a parliamentary journalist. With the parliament more according over the years, you know the in and out of the parliament. Or sometimes we talk about judiciary. Say the judiciary or more corrupt. Any idea? You bekai you anas expose be by expose some of the judges are allegedly not taking bribes. The Afro barometer, so Amiatia says 68% of Ghanaians Adrian says unya semness unisika obedi for our court. 78% so things say they don't trust the judicial service. And also say the executives is also corrupt. People pay bribes to win contract and all that. Now about parliament, yantante parliament there, but recently I say 88 parliamentarians be some person go to Oforiata or Parliament. Yanyan say allegedly Penny be a PA ebetua bribe the Amomo Mejai. I'm a summon called the Office of the Special Prosecutor. We also saw the who Anas said why parliamentary expose and also Yantamwasem Bimnia there. Parliament, how do we check Parliament? Parliament, how do we check them?
Yo, may I say Ziega? There were kind of it means the Ghanaian society in any problem because one mentioned the executive, we have corruption problem. One mentioned the judiciary, we have corruption problem. One mentioned the legislature, we have corruption problem. Why more and those institutions Ghanaian? So it means that there is some habit there and what Ghanaian it makes us prone to corruption. So if we want to solve the major problem, I say we should look at how we carry ourselves. We are raised up. Maybe something in our culture is actually allowing that. Was it acquired? I mean, can we do something about it and change it? I am saying lifestyle actually encourages that. Now to come back to the main issue, said members of parliament, how do we handle the issue of corruption? Like said maybe graphing about the Auditor General and then the Auditor General's reporter by Public Accounts Committee. Over the years, people have lost kind of faith in that particular process because all this while the Auditor General at the report and it goes to the Public Accounts Committee. We see the daily sittings, almost translate, almost press for Konaba, to talk but after it, year in, year out, you even see that the issue gets worse. I didn't understand because the system now over the years, it looks like it doesn't work. First, now I used to follow Public Accounts work very, very keenly because I felt there was a process that was going to lead to us stopping corruption or even reducing it. But as time went on, I realized that over the years, the public servants and the civil servants got to know that this is a process that is just at the moment now you can want them and I ask them, but just give it a few days and months, it becomes nothing. Actually, no punishment, have no, the political will is not there to punish them. Because at the Public Accounts Committee, that authority, on to two. At a point in time, Public Accounts Committee felt that we need and one day to punish the people. Indeed, this is the situation that you embezzle this amount of money. Okay, we have put it in the public domain. Okay, refund the money. Okay, if the institution itself is minded enough, and I said the head of that institution is minded to follow up and take that money, then you will take it. If it's not minded enough, who said this will be in the books, the next report will come, and then it will come back to Public Accounts Committee again, and you hear them saying that we asked you the other time to go and take the money from the people. You haven't taken the money from the people. And they said when we chased the people, they were not there. Some have retired, some have American ones, and they will say, go back for it. It looks like that system is not working. Why is the Public Accounts Committee not having the clout to just pronounce some sentence or directly push the issue to the Attorney General for them to deal with the people as a criminal issue or as a civil case or whatever it is? But people year in, year out, it comes in. And there comes in the allegation of a lot of people make that because some of the people are politically exposed. At the end of the day, Public Accounts Committee, now by political game between the minority and the majority. And we know that when it comes to Parliament, those things come to play all the time. So far as that person is said to belong to maybe the majority side, you see the minority people actually trying to make a big issue out of it. Then it will put the majority on a defense. Now almost protecting that Nipano. While they are doing that, then the issue of the main issue of corruption, now what we see on the television and the radio and the newspaper, the banter that goes on between the two main political parties. Now, for the issue of the corruption, so I think if we will be able to deal with this, then we first have to deal with the political will to fight corruption right from the beginning. And then the members of Parliament should also show commitment and move away from partisanship when it comes to corruption. When it comes to corruption, that has to do with plundering state coffers. We are all one. No party A, party B. Then we can fight corruption. But for now, once they bring in that political aspect, then we lose the fight against the corruption. And those who are corruptly minded, always want to play that affiliation card. When you say the long arm of the law is getting closer to him, now we're pitching a camp at one side. Either I belong to NDC or I belong to NDC. Then the main issue of corruption is lost to the partisanship game.
Okay, so I'll come back and I ask you the question about Parliament in general. Say, how do we monitor Parliament if there is a corrupt practices be a cost of Parliament? How do we detect it? How do we do it? Because I remember Nana Akufo-Addo first term in 2017 during the vetting, we had Ura Boakye Jako and the current majority leader Mama Yariga and Muntaka issue about a certain bribe that went on. A committee was set up, and the same committee were the same parliamentarians. So later on, how do we monitor our parliamentarians? You, as an astute and renowned parliamentary business, we'll come back to you then. No, I'm at the rundown. Let me announce Nana Baffour Esquire is a Mencia South Member of Parliament at John Ye. May call announce CC about Mamiasa announce say Ura Vitus Azim, anti-corruption crusader, still with us. And of course, Bishop J.Y. Edu is a social commentator, and Clement Akulo, a parliamentary journalist and development communication. They are all with us. Now, let me go to Nana Baffour. Nana, the Deputy Finance Minister in the person of Honorable Thomas Nyako Ampim came to Parliament a couple of days ago, and Oberane some of accounts from Auditor General's report. That's where he took the source from. In fact, one of the year Okai Ibine, the 1D1F, our Trade and Industry Ministry requested 89.4 million to be transferred to 5 commercial banks, but commercial bank as an interest subsidy. But banks transaction. They are saying that 35 contractors paid $7.9 million under Agenda 111 failed to start work, and also public institutions wasted $18.4 billion Ghana cedis cedis in 2024. We saw you in Parliament, and you were, I mean, all over the. Say, okay, I say, everybody was watching you. When you are bringing there, and people were applauding you. Say you have fought a good battle near there. You opposed what the minister said and described it. Say what he's doing is a propaganda. Emma and Kofu J politicians any. Didn't now we can say them say a propaganda. Na Emma yen J politicians any.
But I was speaking. Edika. The American said a propaganda and they said report no minister na the buy. And your report no na ye do almost ada. For the report no buy no. Nanka we jai ya ko buy report no be e. Na instead say be report no or read statement. And your statement will be to read our parliament including the minister.
Yeah.
Now over the statement no. And na go to me maybe I will see if you report. Mimi issue say if you report to the media, then you go to the report to the media. So for audit reporter, you are the two you are your friend the management responses. And if you are in someone in panic during the exit meeting, Sanya Mano may explain some of the things the auditor may have said, or may admit or deny it. So what I say. But who offer the auditor can one in the parliament? Sabi, then you Munina Woka. About the Sa. Actually, Yakohe, not the Pano can chile auditor. A pass more. Sabi, what say the petty every leader? So what I say. Now, another Magana for a cassette. Politicians are for now. Sabi, you chat here. It's about the Sa. Now, media, Sabi, be a little part of Ryan. You can be crying after so. If you told the Bia, Sa approach, the Akofabanes, a Musu in the say. If you are not civil servant, and not public servant in our money. But open your propaganda, sir. Esan says MPP 4 time. I didn't say we too sana money maybe you will feel. Na yan fee be defend ya. Na public servant and na civil servant I will be money no. When ya na mo arbitrate utility mu so oda so service ni mu. Enti da bia no mo service ni mu di oman no money. Enti dia na me catch minister na say ye propaganda no. Emwa ebi ne ministry na say Ministry of Trade, one district, one factory asemo na wo.
Yeah.
Over one district, one factory asemo na wo Kenya. One district, one factory no na omoye in partnership with Ghana Commercial Bank. Now, Ghana Commercial Bank say on this best car untua insehu wo officer se loan no so untua ya se loan no so onfama ni pana ehunsi untua
Debbie
untua enti se uko na sa bank ne say ye disperse kanoa si ye ko report ni mu a ye be hu se nipa no se ye discover fo bi ma na se ye fa kapro bi aye e man enna se loan ye disperse ya interest no aye bank wo ye be discover be ye dey e be kwa akoma wo ana be kwa enti se loan wa disperse ya na se obi kotua ska ema se otua ba bank na se bank na se ni san keska bia ana se bank is one disperse he wasn't even expecting any money nipa corona what disperse kam nipa be yan fa no because so when you send systems is working at the ministry sir open look there is even an internal audit at the ministries and agencies and departments. The internal auditor payment period will go through unless say I go to the internal auditor.
I see.
And the internal auditor will raise queries as to why certain payments should not be made. So what I say, enti ebeye na BBS can to be try. So be try that's an internal auditor ye ha. Ono wo ho asem ka. Nipa na wo sign no so ono so wo ho asem ka. So what I say, enti okọ ministries ni agencies are. Enye se minister be sign checks ye NDC ka. Or the independent sign. There was systems, the processes are your
yeah, I see.
Enti so be be can same way no more. Open not just say what you say a propaganda that in na yan sha di sa report here by a annual statutory auditor general or you a nipa o mamba say e bra MPP for your one way no omo ye adwuma ma ban tiesa ban tia wo ka ana minister say sika no
okay.
Tia ko se ma tihwe ko se ye no kra eno oye audit na so mo se ye no kra na watia edi kan nua ewi ase onyankoko mo boss so asase obo na say time pie entiza
yeah
entiza
yeah
enti kire wo se baabia obenya ni papo ne ye den ewo obo adamani ka kire wo se mo di abano enso aduabano if angodi ada enti eyete ya yefra ban mu ani pedi se bibi yefra ban mu ma ban fofra ba obi di claim beba enye no ko
I see
that claim enye bibi na de ba ye contractor was so ye mama ban and this claim ye de eba pa ne se ko hwehwem na se claim no enye no kra media the money is
na akwa se na eya akwa se wo yo bidie ni bi bebo
exactly ye fra ba mu 2016 ye fra ba mu 20 ye ba mu 2017 the party claims ni bi ba ye hwehwe mu na ye no kure ye reject claims so what you say it usha 2016 2017 ora dom level yes audit 2018 or submitted the report and was about disallow 5 billion cedis of those claims.
Yeah.
It is a disallow claims, sir. Who be the claim about not about disallow. Money pay and I buy a claim. Why? I don't know. Maybe you say. So what should be so I and I just come and I want ye. Pano, ye contractor. You will be a friend of mobilization. It is out.
Yeah.
It is out.
Yeah. Mobilization fee.
Contractor Biama. Now I'm on mobilization. Now I'm for you, Mano. Would you have minor contractor?
Yeah.
One I want to say, Pano.
Okay.
Yeah. The idea the best MPP abam, the best NDC abam, NDC and the politics are. Solution is for the problem. Yeah.
But Nana, on your chance say, with exception of BDC Biana, Attorney General na Nipani and Fanning court and prosecute no Nabia, I now what a issue or press conference good Nipan hoofing. Apart from that, you know, the Deputy Finance Minister Bayano, when you say or come Ghana yetia, a bit me up why you continue like this, as it's like shaming people, exposing people and shaming them.
Okay, 80 so can ya. No one can in our preference.
I see.
Enti, Oba ye now we can say we could make a claim say as can you one Odiano, the response of the buyer, no one can come.
Okay.
Well, here, Oba share responses no audit report. Now I'm explaining or sending a acceptable. I will say, get us share any dream
okay.
And also.
Okay.
That's so now minister now can and you good pan fee.
Every I see. Okay. Na Matias yepa. Na you better see. Yes, I will bring
I said that way, Radio.
Okay. Nana J. Baffour, who are a member of Parliament, Edema, people of Menchia, South constituency. Let me go back to Mr. Vitus Azim. So, say, you heard the other three commentators. Do you have any reaction to do about what they said?
Just to comment on the last speaker's statements.
Okay.
If I understood well, corruption, I mean politicization, is one of the reasons why we're not to fight corruption.
Yeah.
We always look at allegations of corruption with the political lens. So when it comes to Parliament, anything that is against the ruling party, a member of the ruling party, they will get up and defend. And the reverse, when it comes to do with the opposition party, member of the opposition party, then the other side, I mean, they'll get up to defend their person. Sometimes, even without finding out from the person whether it is true that he or she has engaged in certain acts. We've seen parliamentarians going to sit at the yoke offices in support of a party member who was arrested because of an alleged impropriety. We've seen people, party supporters, go to the office of the PNI or the NIB to keep vigil because the party member has been arrested. When we continue to do this, we cannot succeed in the fight against corruption. We must see corruption as a national canker, calling for a holistic approach to dealing with it, which should include every Ghanaian, well-meaning Ghanaian. That's one of the things that we need to do. But again, the action is very important. As for the Bible and the Quran, in Ghana, virtually everybody believes in the Bible or the Quran or traditional worship. In fact, with the traditional worship, sometimes when you take the person to the shrine, the person will confess. The person will even be afraid to go to the shrine because it may mean death.
Yeah.
But I don't think we want to go in that direction, being a democracy. But that should have been a quicker way of dealing with corruption.
Mr. Azim, if the Muslims are quoting, the Muslims who use Quran to swear before they are sent to positions in this country are sometimes asking us to go to join them in Antoine Sonyama. The Christians are saying the same thing. So don't you think that they believe in the Antoine Nyama than their Bible and the Quran because it works faster?
You see, I don't think that it's a matter of believing in one or the other. But that one brings quick action, gives you the immediate results. You know, the Christian faith talks about reward in heaven or being sent to hell. And people don't want to wait for all that to take a long time before they can go to hell or go to heaven. But with the traditional worship, it could be tomorrow. If people are quarreling over land ownership and they go to the shrine, the one who is making the false claim is likely to die, or that's the belief. But as I said, we don't want to go in that direction now because we're in a democracy and the Christianity and Islam has captured a good portion of the population of the country.
But so you go to Nigeria.
By our constitution.
You go to Nigeria. They are saying that most of their policemen, especially those on the road, take bribe, and they are planning to sew attire with no pockets on it, so that it will prevent them from. I think that this one sounds weird. It is now in their parliament and they want to deliberate on it and consider. It sounds weird and uncivilized, but don't we think that this sounds weird and uncivilized, but it can also keep the situation?
It cannot keep the situation. Let's go back to the military regime. The police at the barriers and the customs, they used to have a place in the booths where they will keep the money. When the driver arrives there, the driver jumps down and goes to deposit the money in the booths. It was discovered that some of the driver will go and package some of those money and go out.
Yeah.
In any case, you can take the money and dump somewhere. After you have closed, maybe the following day you come and take back your money. So that will not prevent corruption. Some countries have put video cameras in the vicinity, but even that, some of the people are able to tamper with the video cameras, so it doesn't capture everything.
I see.
You see, the human being with the corruption mind is very difficult to catch. And you also need people with an anti-corruption mind to chase them and catch them.
Okay.
And it's very difficult message.
Okay.
Because even when you are catching them, they now try to corrupt you as well.
Okay. All right.
So that has been our main problem in this country.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Vitus Azim. God bless you, sir. Mr. Vitus Azim is an anti-corruption crusader, and I'm going to say that I still have the two speakers on the line. Yeah, channel 44. Now, yanko. Mami starting free. Bishop J.Y. Edu. So, Bishop, catch. What else do you have for us? Dear Biona, bet me I can't account.
Me that's said the casting na vehicle corruption no na asitu no de e say ya ya politics ye jam kufu o mu ye corruption pa ya chief directors ya o ministries no what the corruption no na say say politician for obi agiti we listen we ya mu corruption pa what the rest said what the president of na politician for the ye no nkasa yi na benya nka ma o president na report no mai para que tu via the political party committee deputy o bien na political party it is after and for monsieur e be yi bi afiri president e be yi bi afiri na mahimfo e be yi bi afiri e be yi bi afiri kapo ya tu mo committee kese asiwa e ba ye better so akoko ye ya politics na ye diburo ye ya mi papa akora akero.
All right. Yeah, can I say just a minute? Na me come Mr. Kulo na on Fayampon. Yeah, can I say it said I say I sit to the bear deno. And that just said dear President Kufuor can maybe say corruption or a free Adam Pesu. Though Wababe Chechemu at the cultural council as some not all refer say ultimate to corruption as in emum what Chechemu dear, but young funny said yeah general. And Kofobe blade Junior and they used to Sadiano at the Casano. Young funny says sanity. So a cassa corruption started from Adam Personal. Need to us any edino. As I say, a jitum sana.
I am not correct, yes, a yap near Yat Nancy. If you accept this suggestion, I say, you to the portfolio and your politics. Now you have been referred for more. There's no case at that human or this is a parliament. And what I have politics. Now, what do we find this out? And number one, my team, actually, now, yes, now, NDC teaching we
all right, thank you very much, Bishop. And what trust you now come what it's a best of beloved go to Mr. Kulo. So Mr. Kulo, dear Usha Bishop J.Y. do Kase Kebeya Yente non-partisan organization be whatever our police form, soldier form, imam for Christophobia na fighting corruption. But we have also seen some instances in issues are bad and conform more cover galamsey who buy a proxy for soldier for DC for national security for almost corner almost so ya kwacho almost almost ya galamsey. Can this be possible?
But I said the Honorable Bishop, he means well. It means well because I don't know it has overwhelmed us. You want solutions from all kinds of angles. But unfortunately, I cannot agree with you. Sir, that we should gather them to do it. I shudder to think that we can solve the problem because most of these issues say chase and we are need almost on behalf of these people. They are hopeful, they are software, and it's a big man in society. About the plebe, say we are Mikrobi, or Menana, we are Masoreba. With the politicians and the people in authority say, so I don't think that is the solution. Solution is will solve our problem with the Subino. But going back to look at it, we have a systemic problem as a nation of Ghana. Because when you look at the Seminary Treaty, we are in a democratic country. Now, your treaty system says we have the executive, we have the legislature, we have the judiciary, and separation of powers. And they are saying, for the judiciary, the executive work independently. We have another institution, which is the legislature, which is parliament, to oversight the executive. Oversight, then the other ones will also oversight the others. And especially Parliament is supposed to oversight the executive, the expenditure of the money. This kind of money, ministers are spending the money in their various ministries, departments, and they are the head. But the spending officers, the chief directors in India, when those issues happen, corruption issues happen, you see, auditor general, any audit, no, you see, she cannot go to the mall because Parliament never go to during the budget time. Can I go to the mall? Over here, they are back. Then you Parliament who are supposed to be the oversight, yeah, they go for back. Then you tend to fight, standing by your political party. Then you lead the national issues without dealing with the main issue. So this problem is not individual problem, but the excessive partisanship. And we are hoping that some of the laws now, say conduct of public officers bill, another law,
I see.
Some have also proposed that we should do lifestyle audit. Maybe those ones can come in, but maybe they are changing, and so we don't take the advocacy to that point where we are appealing to the Ghanaians to stand or to move away from corruption tendencies. Then I think that this thing will be there for a long time. Look at what the member of parliament was saying. It confirms what we were saying. He said, instead of fighting corruption, they do partisan issues. And no more corruption, no more money. And I think that is a serious issue we must deal with.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Clement Akulo is a parliamentary watcher and a communication officer at PN Africa and Amote Nekano. The president, in his speech in Tanzania, made us to understand that we should brace ourselves for this, shocks now, air battle. But you have come and told us that we shouldn't panic. That's I read it from somewhere, coming from National Petroleum Authority. Why shouldn't we panic? Tell us.
All right, thank you very much, and good afternoon to your listeners.
Thank you too.
And so, as you rightly indicated, the NPA issued a public statement assuring consumers or Ghanaians not to panic in respect of the ongoing conflicts in the Middle East when it comes to fuel availability and so on and so forth. And so that is the point we want to reiterate at this interview.
Oh, I see. So the scarcity is not there again. That's what you are telling us.
Yes. So as indicated in the press released, we've told you, we've assured Ghanaians that we have adequate stock of petroleum products to meet the demand of the various consumer segments in the country. So there's no need to panic. We are sufficiently supplied in terms of petroleum products as a country.
I see. So tell us, how many liters do we have? I read it from somewhere that we have over 200 million liters of fuel being stored there or stocked there. So is it the truth? How many liters do we have now, and how many weeks or months will it cater for us?
Okay, so I think telling you what the stock level is just will not be helpful, because you'll not be able to put it into proper perspective. But let me say the stock that we currently have in the country is over 5 weeks worth of consumption. So we have enough fuel that can last us at least 5 weeks.
Oh, I see. But President Trump has told the whole world that he will end this war in 5 weeks. And supposedly if Iran surrender. And now Iran new leader is saying that they are not ready to surrender. So it means that international relations experts are predicting that this war will prolong beyond, and that's 5 weeks. So the 5 weeks that we have, if the war goes beyond that 5 weeks that's predicted by the American president, what will be the next step of NPA?
Okay, so what I think you need to know is that apart from having the stock that I mentioned in country, the NPA as an authority, as an organization, continuously monitors supply in the country. Now, as you know, we rely on imports for our country. Part of our fuel needs are met through imports. And so, as we indicated in the press release, we are coordinating with our international oil suppliers, the bulk import distribution export companies, in fact, with the local refineries here as well, to ensure there's consistent supply. So even though you see that we have 5 weeks of consumption cover, we are also in close contact and communication, of course, with all these other players to ensure that whatever has to come in, comes in as well. So for NPA, what we do is that we also monitor all the expected products that are supposed to come into the country. So I can tell you, even as we speak, we have a number of vessels that are actually in terminal waters waiting to also offload or discharge their contents into the country. So, and that excludes the 5 weeks. And when you take all these stock into consideration, it also increases or shores up our stock cover for the country. So there's no need for alarm. All the refineries are working as they should.
Oh, I see. So, and previously, cases like this, we see the pump stations will start hoarding their fuel and all that. But this time around, we are not seeing that. What have you done differently to send a signal or a warning to them that we haven't seen anybody hoarding, a fuel for this panic? Buying and all that.
I think. When there is crisis or perceived crisis, one of the key things to do is to communicate, to provide information. Yeah. And so that's what MP has done, to share information with the public, to give the public the necessary assurances to ensure that there's transparency around what is happening in the markets. Okay, and as an authority, we have also directories that are responsible for overseeing or monitoring what happens at the various retail outlets, the various fuel depots. And so there's close monitoring of the activities happening. And so we don't see why any party or company should engage in such things. And indeed, if anybody is even found to be engaging in any hoarding activity, our law allows for us to impose sanctions to deal with such companies. But we can assure you that we are monitoring what is happening at the various terminals or loading points, and that's why you see that such practices are not being conducted.
So how do you monitor them? Because you have a lot of fuel stations scattered all over the country. So do you have representation in the various regions that monitor the fuel station, or how do you monitor them?
So it's a combination, it's a number of ways. So as you may be aware, we have regional presence in the entire country. So we have regional offices that oversee what happens. We also have reps at the various loading points in the country, and we also rely on technology as well to be able to also remotely monitor what's happening at the various retail outlets. So it's a combination of these measures that enable us to have a good visibility on what's happening in the market.
Okay, so you talked about the petrol. Which petrol and diesel? Which one is going to last for 5.5 weeks, as you just said? Which one?
For both products, I would say.
Okay, both products. So what about the LPG? Do we have any problem with LPG, or it doesn't have any connection with what is happening?
Of course, it's a petroleum product, so it does. But the LPG, we are also good. We also have about 3 weeks for LPG, but we have vessels that are bringing LPG to increase the levels. And then, of course, what you also need to note with LPG is that we also rely heavily on the local production. So you have the gas processing plants that Fabra brings some LPG to the market. We also have the local refiner bringing to the market LPG. So in terms of security of supply, we are good when it comes to LPG as well.
I see. So at the LPG too, we should not panic.
No need to panic.
I see. Now tell us. Beginning of 2025, we don't know what happened. All of a sudden, we woke up one day and the fuel prices came down, and that transcend to lorry fares or transport fares and others slashed by 15%. What was the magic? Because we had not seen that before, but you came to do it in 2025, early 2025. What happened? Was it because the world market dropped and it has to, it had to relate to the local stuff, or what? What actually happened?
I think what you need to know is that when it comes to fuel prices in Ghana, there are two major variables that will dictate which direction prices will go. So these two variables are the international world market price, or the world market price, and then the exchange rate. And so if there is any dip in price or drop in price that was witnessed in the past, it's because you've either seen some improvements or strengthening of the Ghana cedi, or you may have seen a reduction in the world market price. So depending on the direction of these two variables, you'll see either prices go up or come down.
I see. And we are also expected by June, July, August, we'll have a reduction of the price of fish. Fish product, or let's call it seafoods, because the premium fuel has been slashed by 16%, right? Was it 16%, right?
When you say it's been slashed by 16%, what do you mean?
I mean, you have reduced the price of the premium fuel by 16%. That's what we read it from somewhere.
No, I mean, those prices are the same. All you need to know when it comes to premium fuel is that the government subsidizes the products. And so that's the only intervention government makes in fuel pricing.
Oh, I see. So the premium fuel, the reduction has nothing to do with the world market issue that every day we talked about, right? It's about the subsidy.
Yes, there's a subsidy on the premium fuel that ensures at least the product remains an affordable input for the fisher folk.
Oh, I see. All right. So, Mr. Waje, tell us again. We shouldn't panic. We shouldn't panic. Promise us that. Why shouldn't we panic? Because people still been whispering to my ears that they are still not feeling comfortable with what is happening. Definitely something will hit this country. So, for all what you have done, you are telling us we should not panic. Affirm it to us that we shouldn't panic.
Yes, so like I've said, we have adequate stock of petroleum products to meet the consumption or the consumer needs in the country. We are monitoring various stock levels. We are continuing to monitor our imports into the country. And as far as we are concerned, all the imports scheduled to come into Ghana over the next weeks are all on schedule. There's been no disruptions to supply as we speak, and local refineries are also doing all they can to maximize and optimize their operations so that we can get more output from them to shore up or supplement what is imported into the country. So there's no need to panic, there's no need to hoard, there's no need to rush or panic buy. You have our full assurances that you have an NPA that's taking proactive measures and will continue to take proactive measures to ensure there's adequate supply of petroleum products in the country.
All right. We thank you very much.